Have you ever noticed that some people seem to get older while others seem to get more interesting? I turned 71 this year and I'm convinced that the difference isn't money or health or even luck. It's curiosity. Today, I want to show you how one very curious man, my grandfather, quietly changed the course of my entire life, and why curiosity may be the greatest anti-aging habit any of us can develop. Welcome to 70 and Still Becoming, where we celebrate staying curious, continuing to grow, and proving that our best years don't have to be behind us. I'm Jerry, and today we're talking about something I believe has made every decade of my life richer than the one before. My grandfather was my favorite person in the world. I remember as a child going to Grandma and Grandpa's house. After Sunday dinner, we would go into the living room. Grandpa would turn on the television and then settle into his old recliner. I would sit cross-legged on the floor beside him, and together we would watch Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, where Marlin Perkins took us to exotic locations and introduced us to wild animals. It was magical. Grandpa was also an avid reader, and I loved looking through his collection of National Geographic magazines, seeing photographs of so many fascinating people and locations all over the world. He inspired that same sense of curiosity and wanderlust in me. Looking back, I realized Grandpa wasn't just showing me television programs. He was showing me that the world was bigger than our little corner of the earth and that it was worth exploring. YouTuber Nurse Jen says, curiosity is one of the most attractive qualities a person can have at any age. People enjoy being around people who are interested in life. And I love this observation. We don't stop learning because we grow old. We grow old because we stop learning. Although I recently turned 71, I'm still eager to learn new skills and try new experiences. One thing I've noticed over the years is that curiosity has a funny way of opening one door and then another and then another. Very few of the most meaningful chapters of my life were carefully planned. Most of them started with a simple question. I wonder what would happen if... For me, it started with travel. As a little girl sitting on the floor beside my grandfather's recliner, I wondered what it would be like to visit all those incredible places we saw on television and in his National Geographic magazines. Years later, that curiosity finally nudged me to apply for my first passport. At nearly 40 years old, I boarded a plane for Egypt and Greece. That one trip changed the way I looked at the world and at myself. Suddenly the world felt much bigger, and my own life felt full of possibilities. And once I discovered how much I loved exploring new places, I wanted to find a way to preserve those memories. That curiosity led me somewhere unexpected, to photography. At first, I simply wanted better vacation photos. Before long, though, I found myself asking questions. How do photographers capture light like that? Where was that photo taken? How do they make an ordinary scene look extraordinary? The more I learned, the more I realized there was still so much to discover. One camera led to another. Online classes led to friendships with experienced photographers who generously shared what they knew. These friendships led to photography clubs, competitions, exhibits, and even a few paid gigs. Today I'm still learning every time I pick up my camera, and I love that. But photography also taught me something else. I discovered that I enjoy telling stories not just taking pictures. That led me to create photo books and travel journals, preserving not only where I had been, but how those places made me feel. Then I started writing articles. Then I created an accessible travel blog. Now I'm creating YouTube videos. And somewhere along the way, I realized that I don't just enjoy learning, I enjoy sharing what I've learned with other people. Then retirement brought another surprise. When I moved from Northern California to Central Texas, I knew almost nothing about ranch life. Honestly, I could have stayed on the sidelines and simply admired it from a distance. Instead, I asked questions, lots of questions. Before long, I was helping with cattle records, learning how a working ranch operates, and discovering an entirely new world that I never imagined becoming part of. If someone had told my younger self that I'd someday be helping manage a cattle ranch, I would have laughed. But curiosity has a way of taking us places we never expected, like the ranch. Moving also awakened another kind of curiosity. Instead of seeing Texas as simply the place where I had moved after I retired, I started wondering, what treasures are hidden here? That question has taken me to charming small towns, beautiful state parks, fascinating historical sites, and some of the most photogenic places I have ever visited. I'm still exploring, and I suspect I always will be. Curiosity has even shaped my career. Years ago, I wondered if I could become a better speaker, so I joined Toastmasters. I had no idea that one decision would eventually lead to performing more than 1,000 weddings as a wedding officiant. And now, years later, those same communication skills are helping me build this YouTube channel. Again, one small decision led to another. I have begun to notice a pattern. Every exciting chapter of my life started with curiosity, not with confidence, not with expertise, certainly not having everything figured out, just curiosity, a question, a willingness to try, a willingness to learn. Looking back, I can see that curiosity didn't just give me new hobbies, it gave me new friends, new careers, new adventures, new stories, and maybe even a new purpose in retirement. That's why at 71, I still expect to learn new skills, explore new places, and keep asking, I wonder. Because I don't believe curiosity has an expiration date. Before you go, I have a little challenge for you. This week, follow one small curiosity. Visit a place you've never been in your own town. Read about a topic you know nothing about. Try a new hobby. Ask one question you've never asked before. Then come back and tell me what happened. I look forward to being inspired by you. I'm Jerry. I'm 70 and still becoming, and I hope you're still becoming your best self too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.